They say true character isn't revealed when times are easy, but when someone is tested, when pressure mounts, when choices have consequences, and when no one is watching. The Stoics believed that a person's true nature isn't found in what they claim to be, but in what they repeatedly do. Words can be misleading, appearances can be deceiving, but actions, especially in key moments, never lie. In today's world, where people carefully curate their images, knowing who to trust and who to keep at a distance is more important than ever. Whether in friendships, relationships, or business, understanding a person's true character is the difference between wisdom and regret. But how can you see through the masks people wear? The answer lies in timeless Stoic wisdom. The great philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, left us with powerful insights on human nature that help us discern who someone really is. This video will reveal 4 key ways to see a person's true character. These aren't just abstract ideas but practical tools that can sharpen your ability to read people with clarity and confidence. You'll learn how to see beyond charm and manipulation, how to distinguish genuine strength from mere appearances, and how to recognize hidden weaknesses before they cause damage in your life. But before we dive in, take a moment to support this channel by liking this video and subscribing to Beyond Vision Mindset. Your engagement helps spread this wisdom to more people seeking truth and personal growth. Now, let's explore the 4 signs that reveal a person's true nature. 1. How they treat those who can't do anything for them. If you want to understand a person's true character, don't just watch how they treat their friends, their boss, or those they want to impress. Instead, observe how they interact with those who have nothing to offer them, people who are vulnerable, powerless, or easily overlooked. This could be waiters, cashiers, janitors, strangers in need, or even animals. The way someone behaves when there is no reward for kindness and no punishment for cruelty is one of the greatest tests of integrity. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, reminded himself daily to meet rudeness, ignorance, and cruelty with patience and understanding. He believed that a person's virtue is not dependent on how others treat them, but on how they choose to act regardless of the situation. A truly good person is not selectively kind. Their respect extends to everyone, regardless of social status. They don't need an audience to be honorable. They don't fake politeness for social gain, only to show their true colors behind closed doors. Their character remains consistent, whether they are speaking to a billionaire or a beggar. On the other hand, pay attention to those who are friendly and charming when they want something, but dismissive, impatient, or even cruel when dealing with someone they consider beneath them. This is a red flag that reveals a lack of genuine virtue. Such people operate on self-interest alone, treating others as tools rather than as human beings. They might act courteous when they need help or when a relationship benefits them, but as soon as the dynamic changes, their respect disappears. Stoicism teaches that external power, wealth, or influence mean nothing without moral character. Epictetus warned against those who seek validation from high places but lack basic decency in everyday interactions. He believed that a person's worth is measured by how they behave in ordinary moments, not just in grand gestures. If you want to gauge a person's true nature, pay close attention to how they treat those who can do nothing for them. Are they patient with a struggling employee? Do they acknowledge the humanity of those society often ignores? Or do they use their status to belittle and dominate? A Stoic remains grounded, knowing that status is temporary, but integrity is forever. The person who shows kindness and fairness, even when there's no immediate benefit, is someone of true character. 2. Their reaction to adversity and failure. Hard times don't create character, they expose it. When everything is going well, it's easy for someone to appear strong, confident, and composed. But when life throws challenges their way, when they experience failure, setbacks, or loss, that is when their true nature is revealed. How someone reacts in moments of adversity tells you more about them than years of smooth sailing ever could. The Stoics believed that suffering is the ultimate test of character. Epictetus, who was born into slavery and later became one of the most respected philosophers of his time, taught that external events do not shape us, our response to them does. A person with true strength and wisdom does not crumble in the face of difficulty. Instead, they see hardship as a lesson, an opportunity to grow, and a chance to practice resilience. When life gets tough, do they remain calm and rational, or do they lash out in anger and frustration? Do they take responsibility for their mistakes, or do they shift blame onto others? Many people appear composed when things are going their way, but when pressure mounts, their true colors emerge. Watch closely. Does someone panic, complain, or look for an easy way out when faced with difficulty? Do they act dishonestly to escape consequences? A weak person blames circumstances, believing life is unfair. A strong person, guided by Stoic principles, understands that setbacks are part of the journey. They do not waste time feeling sorry for themselves. Instead, they ask, what can I learn from this? How can I become stronger? Another sign of character is how a person treats others when they are struggling. Some people become bitter, resentful, or envious when things don't go their way, taking out their frustration on those around them. Others use hardship as an excuse to abandon their morals, justifying dishonesty or cruelty. But the Stoics taught that virtue should remain unshaken, no matter how difficult life becomes. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayals, wars, and plagues during his rule, yet he never allowed adversity to corrupt his integrity. He believed that true strength is the ability to remain steady in the face of chaos. The next time you want to understand someone's true nature, observe them in times of failure. Do they face their struggles with dignity and wisdom, or do they break under pressure? The answer will tell you everything you need to know about their character. 3. How they act when they have power or control. If you want to see a person's true character, give them power. The way someone behaves when they're in control, whether over people, resources, or situations, reveals who they really are. Do they use their position to uplift and support others, or do they exploit, manipulate, or dominate? Power does not corrupt, it simply magnifies what was already there. A person with a weak moral foundation will become arrogant, abusive, or reckless when they gain authority. A person with strong character, however, remains humble, just, and fair, no matter how much influence they have. The Stoics understood that power is a test of virtue. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history as Emperor of Rome, constantly reminded himself to stay grounded and resist the temptations of tyranny and self-importance. He wrote in Meditations that a true leader serves others rather than serving their own ego. Despite ruling over an empire, he sought wisdom over wealth, justice over favoritism, and discipline over indulgence. He knew that real strength lies not in controlling others, but in mastering oneself. But not everyone follows this path. Many people, when given even the slightest bit of authority, whether as a manager at work, the leader of a group, or even in personal relationships, immediately let it go to their heads. They become demanding, dismissive, and entitled. Instead of leading with fairness, they impose their will on others simply because they can. They mistake fear for respect, thinking that making others feel small somehow makes them bigger. On the other hand, a person of true character remains unchanged by power. They don't see leadership as a privilege to be exploited but as a responsibility to be honored. They listen to others instead of silencing them. They remain fair, even when they could easily be selfish. They show the same kindness and humility they had before they were in a position of control. If you want to understand someone's nature, pay close attention to how they act when they have an advantage over others. Do they remain humble, patient, and just? Or do they become arrogant, cruel, and power-hungry? The way a person handles authority, whether in big or small ways, will show you exactly who they are. 4. How they behave when no one is watching. A person's true character isn't measured by how they act in front of others, it's revealed in what they do when they believe no one will ever find out. Many people carefully craft their public image, displaying kindness, integrity, and self-control when they know they're being observed. But when they're alone, when there's no fear of judgment or social consequences, their real nature emerges. Do they still uphold the same principles, or do they indulge in dishonesty, cruelty, or selfishness? The Stoics believed that true virtue exists regardless of external validation. Epictetus taught that a wise person behaves with the same discipline and integrity in private as they do in public. They don't need an audience to do what's right because their character is not built on appearances, it's built on principles. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to act with justice and humility even when no one was watching because self-respect, not public approval, is the foundation of a virtuous life. But not everyone follows this path. Many people live with a double standard, one version of themselves for the world to see, and another when they think they're alone. They may act generous in public but be greedy in private. They may pretend to be honest but lie when they believe they won't get caught. They may project an image of patience and kindness but secretly harbor resentment and cruelty. These inconsistencies reveal a lack of true integrity. One of the most powerful ways to test a person's character is to observe how they handle small temptations. Do they steal when no one is looking? Do they lie when the truth is inconvenient? Do they mistreat those who have no power to expose them? These moments, seemingly insignificant, speak volumes about a person's true nature. The Stoics understood that character is not defined by grand gestures but by the small, everyday choices a person makes. If you want to know who someone truly is, don't just watch them when they're in the spotlight. Pay attention to what they do when they believe no one will ever find out. That is where their real nature is revealed. Understanding a person's true character isn't about listening to their words, it's about observing their actions. How they handle adversity, how they behave when in power, how they act when no one is watching, these are the moments that reveal who they really are. The wisdom of Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in consistency, integrity, and virtue, no matter the circumstances. As you move forward in life, apply these insights to the people around you and, more importantly, to yourself. Are you living in alignment with your values, even when no one is watching? Are you the same person in private as you are in public? The path to personal growth begins with self-awareness and the courage to build unshakable character. If you found this video valuable, support Beyond Vision Mindset by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Your engagement helps spread wisdom and positivity to more people. Let me know in the comments, what's the most revealing sign of a person's true character in your experience? Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and keep striving for a better life.